This video right here is how I was able to manifest the things that I wanted. I manifested multiple things, whether it was like behavioral, attitude, material things, whatever it was that I wanted, I manifested it. And here's what I manifested, how I manifested it, and how it came into my life. Because a lot of the times people will say that something's not working or whatever method is not working when they're trying to bring something into their lives, but more than likely there's a chance that it already had came into your life, but you just don't recognize how to see that that blessing or that manifestation has actually entered your life in some type of way, shape, or form, or at least the starts of it. So one of the things that I manifested right before I got out of the military, now all these things manifested, I wrote the list down around March, just like the first list that I wrote down back in, I believe it was 2016, I did that list. Now this list I did back in 2019. It was 2019 at the beginning of the year, and by the end of the year, I was out of the military, and everything had happened by the end, just about by that next January. I wrote the list in March, everything happened pretty much by the next January, okay? So here's what was on the list. One of the first things that was on the list that I did right before anything even happened was that I was saying that I wanted to be a traveler. I wanted to be going to multiple places, always traveling, things like that. Well, obviously being in the military, you already kind of get to do all that type of stuff. But later on that year, I had some experiences where I was taking flights, I was taking trips. I had taken the trips at Colorado, Albuquerque, just all through there, Texas, and all that stuff. All those things happened right after, later on that year that I even wrote down that list. And I went to a bunch of more states too, because I ended up getting out the military later on that year, which was kind of came to a surprise for me at least. And I ended up seeing even more of the country. All right, so that's how that came, and that slowly unfolded throughout the year. The next thing that I manifested was a nice car. Now, at the end of the year, I started picking up on Uber and Lyft and things like that. I really enjoyed that because it allowed me to do what I wanted to do. And that brings me to another point too that I added. I said that I wanted to be a successful business person that loves what they do. Well, as you know, doing any type of rideshare thing, you are an independent contractor. So it was like I was my own business essentially. And so obviously I didn't connect the two and two together. I wasn't like purposely trying to do certain things, but that came to fruition in my life through Uber and Lyft, because now I'm my own independent contractor, I'm my own business, and then I had a nice car. And to bring on top of that, I had just gotten a random car. It was a Toyota Camry. I think it was like a 2018. It was pretty nice and everything, of course. But every time I would bring people into my successful business that I love to do, people would be like, oh, this is a nice car. Not, oh, this is a cool car, or I like your car. No, the exact words that I wrote down. It said, people would come in the car and say, oh, this is a nice car. And eventually, after I had so many people saying it, I was like, yo, wait, everybody keeps saying this is a nice car. And I scrolled down in my list, and then I ended up seeing nice car in my notes, and I looked at it, and that's whenever I'm pretty sure I found like everything that was there. Because I was like, whoa, this is insane. And then also like where I was staying at, because on the list on there, I also wrote that I wanted like a nice house or a big house or something like that. I wanted a house that was either like in the mountains or near a lake home. I wanted something like that. Well, a few months after, probably not even a few months, I think it was the very next month, a lake home ended up transpiring in my life, just not yet. I didn't end up moving there. People that I knew had gotten a lake home, and that was literally only a month later. And these people had also had no type of idea that they were even going to be inside of a lake home or a house, right? And their house was basically on the top of a hill, and then at the bottom was the lake. Okay, and I ended up staying over there after I got out of the military and everything. So that's how that came into my life, and it also manifested into somebody else's life who, like I said, had no idea that they would even be inside of a house or anything like that, because they were just out of their apartment. They just moved out of their apartment, no idea where they even were gonna even stay at. That's how that came into my life through somebody else. And then I wanted like a hippie style home and stuff like that. And the home that I had right now was kind of like that, but not really. But the next home that I did end up getting did end up being more hippie style. You know, that was my style at the time anyways. But like I said, a lot of these things kind of just happens just naturally because I wrote them down and it was something that I really wanted to happen in my life. Now, I wasn't over here dying to have these things in my life, you know, thinking about them every day. I kind of just knew that that's what I wanted. I put that out there and I let it go. That's why it's easy, and that's why so many people tell you to write the things down, because it's easier to go ahead and just let it go, forget about it. Same thing with like journaling and stuff. You know how they allow that to get out of your system. You allow that to just flow and just to let all those emotions out and to let everything go. That's the same thing that you have to do when you're trying to manifest things into your life. You write them down, you kind of let it go. Now, of course, it takes action. You have to have things going on in your life. If the same things are happening all the time, then more than likely you're not going to be able to even like change any type of frequency or vibration to allow things to come into your life. However, they can come into your life with ease as long as you're going inside the direction that you feel is the right direction for yourself. Now, easier said than done. Of course, things take time, but that's where you write them down and you just kind of let go and you forget about them. Now, you ask for, you know, those things, or you expect those things to come into your life, or better. Hope you guys appreciate this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Keep manifesting the things that you want into your life. They can happen out of nowhere. Like I said, I have received money from people that had no money. They got money and then they ended up giving me money. People that didn't even have money that I was giving money to for a while, and then they unexpectedly were able to give me money. So it can come from anywhere, I'm telling you. Manifesting money, I know someone had said that in the comments, so this is a bonus one for you. Whenever I had manifested money, just keep all your checks. If you have physical checks, keep your checks. And I'll tell you guys, actually, I'll have to make this into a new video, how to manifest more money into your life. Keep your checks. We'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do with those checks.